Depends how much you
Well,
use.
because it's like a part of my food group.
We'll call me in order.
The cranberry sauce, you just have a little fire on the side of the
Oh my
dish.
God, my mom
Just
just
on the
recording working?
side.
Hi, Mom.
Side, therefore it's
Hi.
a side dish.
That's your mom.
That's my mother.
Yeah, but salt and pepper
We can't
on
hear
the
you.
side.
Okay.
Recording in progress.
All right. I think the meeting's about to start.
We're having
Alright.
such a good time.
We got by one, it's being recorded. 2, changes to the agenda.
We want to get the, number 8 while Will is here. That up.
Sounds good.
Move it up under public comment, after public comment.
There's someone said, I think it's my mother. What? That's my mom.
I muted her.
Thank you.
Oh,
Yes.
Sorry, Mom.
Alright, opinion seems to be to move number 8 up to, change, the agenda, so,
between 4 and 5, does that sound right?
Or between 3 and 4.
3 and 4.
Sure.
alright, we'll do number 3 and then we'll move number 8 in there.
Yep.
Public comment, anybody got public comment? I got 2 of you, it's okay. You stood first.
Somebody, I'm sorry.
You're-
Regina, next to you.
No, we're here first. So, okay, so a couple of days ago, I got an email from Kim Seymour saying that I was in the thread of an email to a reporter who's looking for information about how the town, she received the email and then included me in the thread, unbeknownst to me, but about how the opioid funds were used. So the town very generously gave me a couple of checks, more than 3 at least, last year that were opioid funds with no
Strange.
letter that said you need to use it in this particular way. So rather than respond to a reporter, because I may get a phone call because she provided my contact information, which is public record anyway, but we run on a pretty low profile, so, and everything we do is pretty confidential. But I would like to tell the board how those funds are used. My Community Nurse Project is a nonprofit, you've heard that many times, providing health advocacy and compassionate nursing care management to residents of the 7 towns. We operate on a very simple budget that does not provide for overhead expenses, as we do not have an office, nor do we have office staff. As you know, the opioid funds that were sent to my Community Nurse Project went into our general fund. Our general fund covers salary, mileage, a few expenses for the office, including that we don't have, including a phone, and the rest of it goes directly to patient care. So sometimes we purchase items that clients may need but cannot access. It could be because of cost or transportation. These items are such as prescription copays, adaptive devices for safety in the home like rails, toilet seat risers, chair pads for post-surgical comfort, pulse oximeters for in-home oxygen monitoring, replacement of blood pressure cuffs for daily patient use, and at times a bag of groceries. And there are times when I will buy a hamburger and sit with somebody on a Wednesday, because that's when he likes to have his hamburger, because he doesn't like to eat alone, one of our patients. So we have not retained a specialized running list of what we call opioid funds. We're grateful for the donation from the town. And if you have any questions, please let me know. I haven't been contacted by the reporter, but I think that it's gonna be an uncomfortable thing for me to respond to, so I think if anybody wants to know what we do with the funds, they should probably contact the town.
Well, you can watch the recording now,
Absolutely.
because I think he's just, my impression from the email was he's just from the PR. He's just interested in how the funds have helped the state and organizations or everybody. And I don't think he's looking for dirt as a reporter. I think he's just hoping to write a story about how it's transitioned from being given to towns. And so I didn't see it as anything negative other than this is a good PR and perhaps great information.
Very
Get
good.
the information share if they want it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you for what you do for the town.
And that's so sweet, just a burger on a Wednesday. Where's my heart?
So you welcome stay for the rest of the show if you'd like.
I'll hear what my neighbor has to say, because like, this is exciting.
Ooh,
Oh. Gretchen Hauser, Slauson Road. I'm here, I was here 6 weeks ago. And you guys were talking about, finding out who is. What's the word? You used the word. Who's responsible? That's not the word I'm looking for, but who's, who can find out the answer to my question?
About which zone you're in.
About the
on-
zoning, we can talk to Ryan about it.
Have we done that?
No, my aunt passed away and I have a ton going on, so, no, I haven't done that yet, but I will call him. I can get that answer for you.
Well, you gave an answer from Ryan.
You're right, but it's, I know, but it seems like you're not happy with that answer, so if you want more clarification, I can call him and get more clarification, or I can have him call you. And
Yeah, I'd love to talk to him myself. The
Sure.
whole problem is nobody would let me, I wasn't allowed to talk to him. And
I don't think you're allowed, and nobody knew anything until I ran into him and said what's going on, and then he said I was surprised that nobody had gotten in touch with me, so it's not a thing that you weren't allowed to, it's not that we weren't allowed to.
I
It's-
was told I couldn't talk to him.
Okay, so I don't,
So I would say that's not allowed.
okay, so I don't, who told you that?
Dan,
Okay, so I can't speak for Dan. What I can do is speak from my experience and give you an answer moving forward to clarify how your questions. And I don't want, I mean, clearly you're upset and I understand. But moving forward, we have to have a clear line of communication, and I'll do the best I can to make that happen.
okay. Can he come here?
No, I'm not gonna summon him. I can talk to him personally and see what I can do. I think this issue has been put to bed already, and decisions have been made. His contract with the state has been fulfilled. I don't really feel like it's comfortable for me to demand for Ryan to come to this meeting. I don't know.
Well,
Jeff, do you have any thoughts on that matter?
Well, I think that we're gonna have to circle back with Linda.
Because she took over from Ryan, right?
Well, she's always been the town's main person. I mean, she's hired by the town,
Yeah,
employed by the town, but ultimately, she, Greg, and myself now make that decision.
what decision?
Well, you wanna go from a 5 to a 6, isn't that correct?
No, I never, well, I asked, why am I not a 5? I didn't say I have to be.
So what's the issue?
The issue is I have asked since the end of May, why I'm not a 5? What's the difference between me and my neighbors who are 5? What's the difference? What designates me as a 6?
And I don't have that answer for you.
So I gave you what the answer was that I got from Ryan, and I'm telling you that we can clarify with Ryan. I will call him. My aunt passed away. I've had a ton of stuff going on, and I just really haven't been able to get to it yet. So I hear your concerns, and I will follow up with that.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna give you, one of the things that you said last time was that, there was a line drawn,
Yeah, there was.
so that's the neighborhood.
Great, thank you. I appreciate this. It's a good reference point.
And you can see where I am and where the 2 5s that are near me, and then there's another 5.
I know, I was also physically there, so I remember.
Right, but you can see where the properties are. There's
I-
obviously no line drawn.
It was okay, so I can't answer that for you. All I can do is take some time after this meeting and put some time into it.
Okay,
So
thank you.
you're welcome.
I'd like to clarify something. You're a member of the select board, Katie. The buck stops with the select board. So there isn't anyone you can't ask questions. If somebody tells you you can't talk to them, they're wrong. Select board is the last stop. If you're looking for answers, you should be able to talk to anybody you want. Anybody got comments?
No, thank you, Jenny.
So when somebody tells you you can't talk to them, tell them they're,
Well, don't tell them that.
I mean, choice words,
But yeah,
intent.
the rest of you agree with me?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. I just want it to be put to bed.
Hey, Dennis,
That's just great.
Yes.
Yeah.
just a
Yes.
comment. I didn't realize that we were done with Ryan as far as his contract. I thought that was ongoing.
It's not that we're done with Ryan. When I spoke with Ryan, because I by chance know him and I was working when he walked into the place where I work. I've known him because it's a small town, because we're the same age-ish for, I don't know, a little bit. And he said, how is everything going with the property valuations in Weston? And I said, you know, I mean, obviously I can't talk about it, but it's been intense. And then I said, I actually have a question for you. What is on Slauson? There's a big kind of misunderstanding, concern about the 5 versus the 6 designation. He said to me when I was working, very quickly, he said, there was a line drawn between the neighborhood, between the houses. He didn't tell me where the line was. I don't know. I mean, it was a very brief conversation. And that is how the designation was made versus the 5 versus the 6, which is a difference of what the amount of taxes that you have to pay by $25,000, I believe.
20.
Okay, 20. So I said, I need some more information. I said, I'm really curious. I'm sorry, what?
Sorry. She was asking me a question.
Oh, okay. So I said, I said, okay. And he goes, you know, I'm surprised that nobody called me. I'm here for questions. I'm here for questions to be answered. And I haven't heard anything from anyone. I actually reached out and sent an email, verbatim, he said this to me, to, I don't know, I can't remember who he sent it to. He said, I sent an email saying, I'm here for information if anyone needs to ask me questions. He never heard anything. So this has been an ongoing thing. I was there during the whole thing. I was at Greshton's. I am pretty well versed in this at this point in this situation. And I really want Gretchen to have an answer. I want us to have an answer. And I don't know why we couldn't talk to Ryan. Ryan was surprised that he didn't hear from us, and that's all I was told. And I'm just relaying the information that I was told.
Maybe I'm missing something here, but it seems to me that I mean, Ryan basically did the appraisal,
Mhm.
and he followed the maps, and you're in a
Right.
6.
Yeah, we can
And-
look at this.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
you're in a 6,
Yeah.
and the rest of Slauson Road is in a 5, and that's not.
There's 17 properties. I'm a 6. There's 3 that are a 5.
Okay,
I just want,
And 2 of them are next to me. That was why I said, why am I not a 5?
so
What's
Yeah.
the difference?
we understand.
I put that poorly. Some of the properties on Slauson Road are 5 and some are 6, for a reason that I don't think anyone understands, including Ryan. And Ryan did not do, he's not the guy who's responsible for doing the 5 or the 6. So I think, am I right?
Yes.
Okay,
Well,
Did he he didn't draw those lines.
so he just said there was a line drawn. He didn't say I drew the line. I'm just,
If-
so now, and then he said, and then I came to Gretchen when she asked the question here, and I answered it as fully as I could. And I will follow up. There's nothing more that we can find out right now besides speaking with Ryan and then finding out from him who drew the line.
I'm not sure he would know that.
I don't know,
Linda.
or maybe Linda
Who
did.
did, sorry?
With the town.
Well,
Somebody within the town.
somebody with it, exactly. I don't think,
Right.
but maybe I'm wrong about that. But I think we need to do some, archaeology here and figure out, what logic was used to draw these lines. Because I don't see any particular logic in it.
I also
And
want to say,
Gretchen, you
I think
certainly
what the
don't.
time, I wanna know what the time was when it was
Who did
drawn.
it? Because I've
Well,
been
well,
waiting
that's
for-
what I'm,
told all along
that's
it
what
was
I'm
Ryan.
that's what I'm trying to say. I'm just saying that this
Yeah.
may be a problem that predates Ryan.
Right, so what I'm
So-
thinking, that like, is it possible, I mean, this is a lot, but to go through and look at purchasing deeds, like, does it save 5 versus 6 when people have bought the houses in the history of like,
I
yeah,
don't think that's on the deed,
okay.
to the best of my knowledge.
This
You
whole,
you would be the
that
one to
don't
know.
make any
I think,
sense.
but I'm-
It makes no sense at all to me.
It doesn't make any
And-
sense.
and-
And I'm sorry, but I was told several times that Ryan had the answer. When I met with the listers, and who's Linda? Is Linda the,
Town
The
appraiser.
town appraiser.
Sussex.
okay, so she sat with you guys when I came for the first appeal. And she was the one who said, we talked to Ryan about that. I said, well, nobody talked to me. What's the answer? Oh, well, we don't know it right now. I can't think of it. And there's time limits. Everybody has 15 minutes kind of a thing, but we'll get back to you. Nobody ever got back. So I kept coming and asking the question. I called Jeff and asked the question. That was when you first started, so you didn't know. And I've just been asking, and I've been consistently told that it's Ryan.
Jeff, is there other areas in town where this same type of thing's gone on?
Yes. Well, there are other places in town, every place has got a designation between,
I guess what I'm gonna ask is, there's several other developments in town. And do they have the 5s and 6s in the developments, or are they all a 5 or all a 6?
I don't know that information.
Yeah, it just seems to me that Ryan is not our answer here. Our answer is buried in
Records.
in the records of when these 5s and 6 or whatever the designations were decided on. Who decided on what the rationale is, and is that rationale still valid? And until we understand that, we're not going to be able to address your problem. And Gretchen, I'm a little bit pissed that we don't have an answer for you, because this seems,
Like something simple. May 22nd, when I came to meet with the.
Gretchen, excuse me. I don't agree with you that it's something simple. This sounds to me, and let me just finish talking and then the floor is yours. This sounds really complicated to me. But I don't think we're beating on the right part of the door. We're beating on the hinge side, and we ought to be beating on the doorknob side. And I don't know where the doorknob side is, but I think we need to try to figure this out and get you an answer.
Well, I appreciate that, and that's what I want. But remember, I've been here from day one through the whole thing. And I'm telling you what I have been told. And when I was here on May 22nd, I sat with Ryan's guy, and then I saw this thing that had neighborhood designations. And at the time, I didn't know what mine was. Okay, I didn't know anything about it. And I walked over to Ryan and I said, what constitutes different neighborhood designations? And he started talking about, wetlands and steepness of property, usable property versus not usable property, and things like that. Steep driveway. He mentioned a steep driveway. Well, my next door neighbor has a flat half as long as mine driveway right off the road, and mine's way steep. So to me, that's one of the things, but he was telling me that's, you know, so I assumed that was his.
My translation of that is that he said, there are some criteria that distinguish a 6
Okay,
from a 5.
Yeah,
And
you may
and
very well.
he
be
just, he was reeling off a bunch of stuff, and, you know, I don't, and,
So where
but
do we
that's not
go?
the point.
Where do
We've
we
gotta
go?
find out when those designations were made and what logic was used to make those designations. And then we have to decide whether those designations are reasonable and
Still
make
valid.
any sense. And I think that's our mission. And I think we gotta get on it, because it's been too long.
So where do we go for that information?
Well,
Yeah,
the
I
listers are the ones charged with doing the appraisal.
Yeah.
They should have a guideline sheet
Okay.
if following Jim's lead. That, you know, whether it's a flat driveway, a steep driveway, there should be a sheet someplace with checkoffs. Go to this driveway, yeah, this is a flat driveway, this gets checked in this box. Go to that driveway, oh, this is steep driveway or down driveway.
Whatever, yeah.
They've gotta have a checkoff sheet someplace. And then they are supposed to put all this stuff together and come up with an answer. So I would suspect we should ask the listers to produce that sheet if they
Can
can.
I ask, what did Ryan do as opposed to what the listers?
Ryan was an assessor that was hired by the state.
No.
No, by the town, but he was contracted by several towns all around.
An assessor?
No,
Appraiser.
An assessor.
an assessor,
Assessor.
but he appraised the value. So he's an assessor who appraised the value of the house.
Yeah, and Ryan's job isn't to make any judgments about 5s or 6s or 4s or 1s or anything. He just says, this is a house, it's got this many rooms, it's this many acres, blah, 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 and it's in a 6, and therefore, this is what the appraised value is.
Okay.
And he makes he doesn't know why a house is in a 4, a 3, or 2, and it's not his job to know that. He's not,
Well, that's a shock to me.
well, that's
I'm just
That's my-
telling you.
That's my opinion, and
Okay.
I could be wrong, but you know, I think we have to go deeper than Ryan on this.
I just,
Well,
but
let me
if we
say
have
this.
to add, we need to
Hold
reach
on.
out and ask him
Or
at least.
point of order.
I'm sorry about that.
I'm not sure Ryan did all that many personal health investigations. He had a hired helper
Yeah,
who had this blueprint that I'm talking about that went through, and he checked off all this stuff. And I may be a little wrong on this. I think what Ryan did mostly was he would take his helper's sheet that had all these checkoffs. He's got a computer program that he's checking this sheet, plugging into this computer program, and when he's all done, it spits out a final answer for him. So I think one of their things to do would be to get a copy of that checkoff sheet that the guy who went around and actually went through each and every house.
I know Ryan did go through houses too, though, so it wasn't just a friend. Like, I mean, it wasn't just like this guy was helping him. Doesn't matter, but
the job that we're talking about, whether it was done by Ryan or one of his cohorts, is purely clerical.
right.
You know, how many rooms, how many square feet, how many acres, condition of house, and all that stuff. Just checking
But he's
boxes,
not the
and
one
it's
that
got
drew the line.
nothing to do with the question you're asking.
Well, the reason I think it thought it did is because the guy, his friend or his coworker.
Colleague.
Doug. His name is Doug.
Doug, okay, Doug, was very nice, came and looked at my house. And then he was the one who handed me the sheet that had the neighborhood designations. He didn't say this is yours or this is somebody else's. He just showed me the amounts, the difference in the amounts. Like a 5 is $105,000 for the 105 $1,000.
Sorry, when you say difference in amounts, what do you, amounts of what?
Of your
Taxes,
Right.
taxes,
of
taxes
your
that you're paying
appraisal.
per
Of your
acre.
appraisal, not your
Okay, you know
taxation,
what?
your, yeah,
This-
but what,
it's
like-
yeah,
The conversation's gone on for a long time.
It has.
Clearly, we have to do, I guess, turning it over to the listers to find out who made that 5 and 6 designation, and let's just leave it at that. You'll find out that answer and get it to us
Yeah.
and presumably get it to Gretchen as well.
Thank you, Dan.
That would be great.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
I
Thank you, Lynn.
wanted to know,
Thank you, Linda.
I'm just trying to explain to you
Yeah.
what my experience
Yeah,
was
yeah.
and what I was told, which is why I keep coming back.
no, the reason you keep coming back is because you're not getting an answer, and that's not
Yes.
right.
Well, I appreciate that. I agree with that.
At least we're agreeing on.
Alrighty, we're gonna
I'm
move
let
number
you
8
go
up
and say
now.
happy
Okay.
Thank you, happy
Thanksgiving to
Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
everyone.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
We have another member, but do you wanna?
There's more
He's
public
coming
comment.
in under-
Public comment?
No, he's under the zoning thing, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
So we're going to
Number
Uh,
8.
do the zoning violation thing first. Well, what's going on here?
What's going on here is, the bakery should have applied for amendment to their permit, they would have gotten it. They,
For what?
for expanding the bakery and, for expanding the bakery, they moved some stuff around in the parking lot. They also, they didn't finish all of the screening between the bakery and Mr. LaRue's house. There are some people who have ongoing issues with the management of the inn. And I sent everyone who had said something about the inn a letter saying, if you have any issues with the inn, I'd like a written complaint, and no one's done that except for Todd.
Well, excuse me, are we talking about the bakery or the inn?
Well, they both sort of become smushed together because Jeff and Claudia's problem are really with the inn, not with the bakery.
Well, there's 2 different issues. I think there's 2 different issues here. I think.
Yeah, I think, and I think we ought to keep those separate
Yeah,
as much as possible.
There's the bakery, and then there is the loading violation for that's happening on the state highway on
Right.
each side
Which
in
is
front of
actually your business, not zoning.
Right, so I think that's why we're trying to talk to you about it and clarify. I just think we all need
Oh,
to be on the
both.
same page.
Well, it's both.
Well, if you want me to give them a notice of violation for that, I'm more than willing to. It'll end up in court and go on for,
Well, you made a statement that they'd applied for amended zoning permit, they'd have got it.
Yeah.
Is that common practice for somebody to apply for a building permit and do whatever they want, then come in and ask for amended one? Cause this ain't the first one I've heard of doing that.
you mean the same management or?
No.
other people? What are the other ones?
A height one?
The height one, the DRB decided not to pursue that. I was in favor of pursuing that, and the DRB decided to throw me under the bus on that one. The application said the building was 30 feet tall. And the building was already built before anyone told me it was much more than that.
How is
And
it,
the Merrill Bent said it was not worth pursuing a violation at that point. But you could just say the town was partially at fault and let them keep it.
Okay, but can we talk about the bakery? Because clearly what they're doing is different than what was in their original.
But it's not so different that it would be a violation if they applied for an amendment.
But how does this fall into the screening issue, which is a violation of the zoning when it comes to Mr. LaRue's property?
They have agreed to add all the additional trees.
So it's like fully
So is
screened.
that okay?
Yes.
And when are they gonna do that?
They were gonna see if they could do it before winter. But it may have to wait until spring. And Todd said he was okay.
In the, okay,
Okay, so is
Well, I understand if the ground's not.
frozen
can't take
solid,
any
yeah.
trees right now.
No, but I just wanna make sure that,
The DRB was not in favor of pursuing enforcement on the screening issue.
but that's not
but
the.
that's
DR
not the
that's
point.
not-
The point is, you told me that that Peter's gonna put in more trees, and you're okay with that.
Yeah, they said originally they were gonna put trees in on one line. And I expressed that on the back line, they're missing like 7 or 8 trees that are in the plan. And I asked them if they would just fill the gaps at the parking lot. And they seem to, I haven't talked to them or gotten official word back, but they seem open to that as well. Because I'm just looking at, I'm trying to block the cars. I'm not supposed to see, it's supposed to be 100% screening. And so I'm.
Yeah, but this is on the northern boundary between you and them.
Well, the northern boundary is between me and the house. The eastern boundary is, I have I'm up there 3 times a day in a little cabin up there. And I'm not I can't hide the bakery, but there's supposed to be screening at the parking lot there. And those trees are about 12, 15 feet apart, some of them, or at least 12. And I'm asking if they'll just fill the gaps. I understand they're gonna grow a little bit, but
Yep.
those trees aren't gonna grow
Okay,
that big anytime soon.
right, so I'm hearing that it's okay, and then I'm hearing that it's not okay.
No,
And
I
I
guess I'm
what-
sure.
okay.
What we need to hear is to just do the executive summary. If there's anything about what Will is talking about that's not okay, that's what we want to talk about. But if it is okay, then it feels like we're done.
Well, what about Claudia and Jeff's?
I'm just talking about screening. Just let's just take this bit by bit.
Look, can I just say something about the management of these businesses? Is that they are prickly, and if you tell them they're in violation, they don't stop, as we found out with the laundry. On Lawrence Hill Road, you all know about that. So I didn't think that, I thought it would be, the best way to get the screening would be it's an informal process, and that seems to have worked for the screening.
Okay.
And this is both on the north side and the east side.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's all I was gonna say is, I'm in agreement if that happens. I just wasn't told. I saw a communication that they seemed open to that, but they didn't say, yes, we'll do that. So that's,
Okay,
if they do those things and the screening's there, especially between my house where the headlights come from, then I'm okay with it. I just want the screening.
yeah.
That's-
Yeah.
Makes sense. So who follows up come spring to be sure that that screening gets put in? And how long do we wait?
I mean,
And that seems to be in your
right,
hands.
yeah, no, I mean, if it doesn't happen in the spring, I would certainly get after them.
Yeah, okay.
End of May.
I mean, I would judge by when I see landscaping
growing.
crews. And when the ground is thawed.
Well, what if you see a landscaping crew in August? I know
If
this
you-
is gonna come up, Will, and that's why I'm asking you.
But you seem to be
snitty
insinuating
questions.
that I'm opposed to.
No, I'm not insinuating, I am absolutely not insinuating that. We need some sharp edges to grab hold of, so that we can say, hey, sometime in the spring,
The crazy
well,
thing is, this is an issue that the DRB didn't wanna touch.
that doesn't change my needs at all.
Right.
I wanna have some clarity.
I will, I mean, if you wanna set a date, I'm fine with that.
Great. How about end of May? Does end of May sound good?
Sounds great.
Okay.
I have a question. I have spoken with you. Before that, I spent a fair amount of time going through all three files on all the permits that were that have gone back to the early 90s. There is a draw, like a line drawn, and then this is what was when you brought it to the environmental court
About the setback.
about this, yes. So does what they're gonna, I just want to make sure that what they're gonna do is fully just executed, so we don't have to deal with this another third time, you know what I mean? I want to just make sure that it's specific and that it does actually screen, so there's not a third installment that has to go through.
Right, well, I agree, because that's why I kind of wanted to talk to their girl who talks to the landscaper, because, you know, it doesn't do me any good if they throw in 6 or 8 trees on the north line, but they don't put them in the right spots.
Right, that's why I'm asking, so I feel like it needs to be incredibly clear,
Yeah,
and there should be a, you know, it's not like an agreed upon plan, but there's something that does adhere to what needs to happen,
well, there's a plan that exists, the landscaping plan that was part of their original permit
right?
has
The
pretty
trees,
much
all it,
solid
as I
screening
know,
all the
solid
way
trees
around.
around the whole boundary.
Right.
This is why I'm asking that. Is that what it was, is what is, that has to happen? I mean, that's
Yes.
the original permit, that's what has to
And
happen.
and what came out of the environmental court with the setback, though, it hasn't been recorded with the town, and for some reason, the DRB said that they don't have to record it. It doesn't make any sense, because they had to shrink because of the setback. Parking went from 18 to 13 or something like that, and so it's a big change. And there is a boundary issue, but we agreed to, the settlement agreed to where, like, he was going 25 feet back.
Right,
And the judge said, you know, whatever. But so it's all there and it's in a plan, but it's not recorded with the town. And I don't understand why, because it's been brought up a couple of times that people pull up the plan that's recorded and it's not what's there.
so how do we get it recorded, how do we do, does it have to be filed? Does
Who
it
has
be-
a copy of
Who's a
that?
copy of it, can we
environmental
have it in,
report thing?
can
The
we,
town has it, it just hasn't, I don't really know how these things work, but
Is
the
the one-
DRB said that they had it, but it wasn't recorded. Like,
so when I was looking through the files, did I see that thing? I don't know if I saw that,
I don't think
that's,
there's any site plans for
There's
the
spec- I didn't
bakery
see
that
that.
are recorded.
What does recorded mean?
It means submitted in Mylar and put in the vault. There's no requirement for a site plan to be recorded.
Okay,
but
So-
which plan did they look at?
yeah, well, and clearly they had
Well,
original
it's-
plans when they asked for the, when they asked for their permit, which changed substantially. So why would the landscaping plan not also change substantially?
Well, it stayed, the landscaping stayed the same. It just was moved like this,
Okay.
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So they had the trees drawn, if you look at the original one and you look at the one that, we basically took the original one in the settlement
Mhm.
and just agreed to it.
Mhm.
After they did the setback,
Okay.
and
Okay, so I think May 30th, let's make sure that it gets done.
And with the management of that
I
company,
understand.
they could just blow it off, they could lawyer up, anything could happen. They
Well,
could do
well,
half.
They
half
verbally,
this
they verbally agreed to it right now, is that what I'm
Yes,
hearing?
written, no, in writing.
Oh, in writing, okay.
okay,
It's pretty strong.
it's great.
Okay, so then May 30th, if it hasn't been done, we'll face that lawyering up issue, I guess. Do we wanna look at the issue of the parking?
Yes.
And loading? So I spoke with Natalie Boston about, the trucks unloading, parking on Route 100 and unloading. And she said, we have talked to them any number of times and they don't listen to us. And a lot of times when they deliver things, there's nobody there at the inn to accept a delivery, they just drop it off. So there's nobody there at the inn to say, sorry, you can't park here to do this. I said, that's not acceptable, it's a dangerous situation. She said, yes, I understand, I will talk with we're having a management meeting, I will talk with them. I said, great, get back to me. I got back to her, she said, yes, they know, and it's written on every invoice, every order that they cannot park there, that they have to pull into the parking lot. If they don't do it, that's on them, and if you need to give them a citation, then give them a citation, because it's on them, it's not on us.
But the only way you can give them a citation is to send a constable to
Exactly right,
police academy.
that's where we are.
And there's not a sign there, so. You know, it's like the drivers don't even know, there's a pad.
There are no
out there.
parking signs.
There's a no parking sign that's facing my house, but if you look at it from where that issue is, it's a piece of paper.
Yeah.
And it's 50 something feet away.
Yeah.
And it's just, I was thinking that the drivers would pay attention to it, no loading sign. Instead, it's an invitation, there was one today that was facing north.
So having that stipulation on your invoices that you can't unload in front of the building doesn't get to the drivers, it just gets to the person who's,
But where are they supposed to unload? There's no other place to unload.
they're supposed to pull into the inn
Oh,
parking
okay.
lot
The
there.
garbage truck and the fuel trucks do pull in, but
Okay.
not the delivery truck.
Okay, so maybe our next step is either to hire a constable or to put up a no loading sign, which they're really not gonna be happy with, but
Well, does that go through us or go through V-Trans because it's on the state highway? To the no loading sign.
Good question, being along the state
Uh,
highway.
What I know about signage on state roads is that signs like no parking and no loading are put there by the state at the request of the legislative body, which is the select board. And that those no parking signs were requested by someone to the select board in the late 70s. And the select board agreed to that and submitted a request to V-Trans, and they made sausage for 3 or 4 months and then put those signs in. Or someone put the signs in. Mark Pickering says that you don't put no parking signs this way on a road. If the road is going that way, you put them this way so people who can see them.
To your point.
So same with no loading signs. But even if the no parking signs were removed, that would make it legal for cars to park outside the fog line. You know what the fog line is? There's
White
a
line.
double yellow line or the center line, and then the 2 white lines,
Mhm.
those are called fog lines. And those indicate the sort of the traveled way.
And where that sign is, it's just a drop, so it'd be dangerous for
Well,
somebody to try to park there. anyway.
Yeah, but, so if you got rid of those no parking signs, cars could, if they were able to park and not drop off the cliff, cars could park outside of the fog line. But trucks would never be allowed to park there because trucks in V-Trans's world block sight lines, SIGHT lines. So that someone coming out of Mill Lane or coming out of the parking area for the Weston wouldn't be able to look left and right and pull out of traffic and know whether cars are coming. So that's all I know.
but that's great. So they're not allowed to park there. They're not allowed to park there now, and they do anyway.
Yeah.
So is our next step then the no loading signs? Or do we hire a constable?
Well, there's also the other side of Mill Lane and the parking spaces that are there, because yesterday the road foreman and everyone the guys that work for the town couldn't sand on Mill Lane because there was no space for them to be able to go through,
Get their truck
get
down.
their truck down.
Why? Because people parked in those
Because
spots.
people parked in their spots and there was no space for them to move.
I
So
would
that's
say-
another issue that needs to be addressed because it's now come in, and I don't know if it's. And I saw on the site plans, it's when they put in these 10 parking spaces, it comes up and it seems like the line is drawn and it falls into Mill Lane a little bit. And I don't know if that's the boundary and that Mill Lane is just cut into and that's just what it is because that was grandfathered in from 1991. That property boundary was, and there is an ability to put these parking spaces in that area. It doesn't change the fact that they can't even sand. Residents are living there. It's unsafe, and people can't see when they're backing out because of the line of sight being blocked with delivery trucks.
Backing out of
Backing
parking
out of-
places on Mill Lane or backing out of Mill Lane?
Backing out of Mill Lane,
Under
but
Route
also,
100?
but also people who are backing out, who are parked in those spaces cannot see what's going on because of the lines of sight being blocked. And so it's not even just dangerous for the employees and the plow trucks.
Sorry, I'm just telling you,
Sure,
the line of sight is being, let's say you pull into Mill Lane.
Yeah.
And you park parallel.
yeah,
Now,
when you're pulling out,
yeah,
Why
how
would
is
you
the
do
line
that?
of sight
Wait, wait.
being blocked?
Todd, you said that you saw some people pulling out and it was blocked.
Oh, it's blocked all the time. The
Right, so
trucks
if you can
parked-
clarify what I'm saying.
Yeah, well, the big trucks, so there was a 60 or 70-foot Coca-Cola truck parked on the right where I said it falls off. So he's literally in Route 100 with his tailgate down and truck and all this stuff down.
Right, but where is he in that?
He's right, nose of his truck's on Mill Lane.
He's between Mill Lane
And
the parking lot
the
for the-
driveway.
Yeah, so
Okay.
if you're trying to come out
So
of
if
Mill
he's
Lane, you
pulling-
can't see that.
So I'm just not understanding.
So
I-
there's, what?
I
Sorry.
thought you were talking about people parallel parking on Mill Lane.
No,
Not being, okay.
I'm talking about people pulling out and there being a safety
From Mill
issue
Lane onto
from Mill Lane
100.
onto Route 100.
Because there's a truck parked
truck parked there and it's, the line of sight is
Absolutely.
being blocked. I'm just saying it's not just our town employees, it's also, it's an unsafe thing for even,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So to your point, this is two different things. And to your point, what is our next move? Do we do something with the constable?
No,
Or
I think your
or
next
do we
move
do
is to put up,
signage
no
first?
unloading signs first.
First.
And,
So we'll have to petition V-Trans to do that, right?
right,
Because that's their road.
it would,
Great.
in my opinion, it would get thrown out quick if you wouldn't wrote them a ticket for
Yep,
unloading
makes
and
sense.
there was no signs there.
Good point.
Makes sense.
But
It's gonna take a process.
Okay, so that's the loading and unloading issue,
Right,
but then we also have the issue of the parking lot where
Parking.
they're parking in
on Mill Lane.
on Mill Lane,
on-
parallel to Route 100.
Mhm.
They're in that, what are there, 6 or
And
7?
is that
It's
an
10
official
parking,
parking
it's
spot?
10 parking
Is that-
spaces.
Is that a correct,
That-
was that on the original plan
Six
that
and
that
then
was
4
parking?
in the back.
It was
Yeah, that-
approved in 1991,
Okay,
unfortunately.
okay, so it's legit parking, it was just a question. I had.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying, is like, it was approved in 1991. You can see where the property line just so slightly comes into Mill Lane. I don't know how that gets resolved, because,
So are the town trucks bigger now than they were in 1991? Is
no,
that why they have space
no,
now?
because there,
It was never.
it was never implemented. It was just,
They never made the parking spaces. They parked on the grass
Yeah,
like 4 or 5 cars maybe.
it was
But-
approved of it, it was never implemented
Wasn't
until the
defined.
Weston,
I'm sorry,
Wasn't defined.
it was never made into a parking lot.
Yeah,
Now it is.
yeah, now it is.
Right, I think the
And
previous
that's
inn
the issue.
didn't need that parking, right,
Gotcha.
and now it's
I see,
more
Okay.
demand.
okay.
The only thing we could do that might alleviate some of it is ask them if they could change that area to subcompacts only.
Oh. They'd be shorter then.
Right, I mean, you can get a small Toyota or small SUV, but you take something like a large Lincoln, large Suburban or something like
Or a
that,
truck,
or a truck,
pickup truck.
they're gonna stick out. They're gonna stick out.
So maybe it's only small cars.
Something to think about.
That's a good idea.
So as it stands now, I guess we're gonna have to draft a letter to the state for the no loading and unloading signs for both sides of the road. Once they're installed, we give them a little bit of time to adhere to it. And then if not, then we'll have to go on a per issue basis and start writing the tickets.
That sounds good.
Yeah, that sounds great.
But the parking on Mill Lane, how are we, is someone gonna talk to?
I remember seeing a drawing of Mill Lane with those parallel parking spaces, and I just wrote myself a note to check that and see what
Okay.
it says.
Okay, so you're gonna check that, great.
And then
I could probably find it in about 3 minutes.
Yeah,
Oh,
actually,
God,
it's
go.
right
You'll
in
be my
there.
The last
hero.
file in the.
Yeah, it's
All
right in
right,
there.
all right, so
you wanna move on then?
yeah, Jeff's been sitting there. Wait, let's take and
Hi,
He's
Jeff.
been playing
Texting.
solitaire.
I've been looking up information on neighborhood designation.
That's what
Oh, good, oh, thank you.
have.
Oh, you've been doing it too. Oh, okay.
but let's see, I guess that's errors and omissions.
Yes, this was brought to my attention, the lister's attention by Linda Saranoki. She's been contacted by the homeowner, whose name is Paul, it's Paul and Betty Ann Grady. So talking to Greg and Linda, apparently we had a change of ownership there back in 2023 that never got updated when they transferred the information.
It's a clerical error.
It was a clerical
Oh,
error.
okay.
The prior owner, we believe, was Buck LaFog. And all the notice of appraisal, reappraisals, all that stuff went to him instead of to the homeowners, the Grady's. Nobody caught it. Well, they caught it. This started back in 2024, so this is prior to my time, but from what I've been told, it never got corrected properly. And thankfully, they did pay the tax bill this year, so we don't have that as a concern, but the appraiser, Doug, never got into the building. Subsequently, Greg reviewed the exterior and interior, and they downgraded it. We've downgraded it from a C+ to a C, as well as the condition from average good down to average. So, yeah, it has been corrected in value from 487,300 down to 412. They were hoping for something less than that, but that was as low as we would go. So we have a negative tax.
Sorry, of 487 to
412,
412.
700.
Sorry, yeah,
Yeah,
thanks.
412, 700.
So they were looking for lower.
The difference was 74,600.
Yeah, they were looking for lower, or they were able to go. We were able to go. So we were asking for a refund due to them of $1,193.23.
We want to make a motion?
I move that we approve.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Want to sign, so
So they'll get a refund, it won't be carrying over to next year's taxes.
Yeah, send them a check.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are we expecting that this owner is gonna be okay with that, or are they gonna come? I'm just wondering, because if they looking for more and they didn't have a chance to read the answer because we never getting the original.
They'll have next April to appeal.
Right.
They can, anyone can appeal their
Oh, yeah, that's.
taxes in April. I believe it's April, isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
April. So like if you were satisfied this year with your things, then something changed or something, you could go in and say, guys, I wanna appeal my assessment based on this, so. It's not just because something was mishandled. Anybody can go in every April, or I think
Okay.
it's April.
So that's the next opportunity, okay?
It'll be
Katie, where
for
next
next
goes
year's.
to?
Sorry, I
Right.
thought there were a collection.
So you're reading your
Here
assessment.
you go, sir.
Yeah.
How are you?
we'll do that.
What is this?
This is
Oh,
yes.
okay. I
the
recognize this.
approved
Jeff,
site
thank you very
plan.
much.
Thank you so much, Jeff.
Appreciate the
Thank you.
good response to that.
On the
Appreciate that.
the 5 versus 6.
Yes,
Thank
great.
you. Have a good night. Bye, Todd.
Thank you.
Thanks, Todd.
Have a nice Thanksgiving.
Thank you, too.
Okay, so I have this there. Where's Mill?
Yes.
Okay,
So this is what we're looking at right here.
this, right, this is Mill.
I believe so.
Um,
Oh, wait, no, maybe
no,
it's
no,
over.
No.
Mill is at the far left, right on the bottom of your page. Bottom of the page.
It's right here. So this is milling.
Oh, I see, okay.
Yeah.
So this is, yeah, right here. And these are the spaces, the 6, so it's 10 spaces that were put in.
11.
11, okay.
443, yeah.
What
And this is
are-
from 1991, right?
It's the nineties, I'm not. So, date on the top, maybe not.
2051.
Oh, it was 99. It was 113.99. It was approved.
Where's that?
Oh,
It says right here on the
Oh,
top,
very
cut off.
13.99. Yeah. Well, are those little,
This is off-street
Circles.
loading right here, that's interesting, huh?
Yeah.
Off-street loading written right on here.
Yeah,
yeah,
Oh, yeah. So that is,
And quite honestly, here's a question, because I passed yesterday or today, I don't, so there was it an 18-wheeler that was out there in front?
there wasn't, there was an 18.
How could they pull into that space? And then,
how would you back out?
that's what I'm
Exactly.
You
saying,
can't,
I don't understand it.
but also,
Well, it may just be that the bylaws need updating as to what's considered a size of a loading unloading zone.
but the question is,
yeah, so,
Cause the bakery it was supposed to be behind the bakery, but everything's in the wrong place. But they came up with another space that fits the requirements for the zoning bylaws for a loading zone.
so I have a question. So before they tore down the structure that was original, that had the original permit
Yeah,
plan, that had been a loading and unloading zone, I believe, I was told this, maybe I'm wrong, was supposed to be there was supposed to be a place at the bakery for an unloading and loading zone
There's supposed to be one behind the bakery.
behind the bakery,
now
and then
it's-
it doesn't exist anymore
It's too
because
narrow.
it was,
Right.
the building was built bigger. No, is that just?
They're saying it's because the wall was put in the wrong place. I've also
Okay.
heard that
Yeah.
they expanded the building. But they have a space that fits the requirements of the zoning bylaws.
Okay,
But
by
I'm
the
not
bakery?
sure, yes.
Where,
Yeah.
like the main parking lot, or?
It's in part of the main parking, yeah.
so would they be able to get deliveries while they were in business? That doesn't, I mean,
Doesn't make sense.
but also you're supposed to have, there's, in the bylaws, there are, a requirement of parking spaces to be had per person that you serve, and per person that stays that is at your business. So do they even have, do they have enough parking spaces at the inn that, cover, the dinner at the left bank, like everyone has a left bank, including people who are staying there? Just another thought and another thing in the bylaws that.
The original plan called for more than parking spaces
Mhm.
than was required under
Okay.
the zoning bylaws.
Okay,
At the
Uh,
bakery.
But that, yes, at the bakery, and someone objected to that, and then someone else said, why are you objecting to too many parking spaces? But then because they had to move the parking area, they lost some.
Did you, ever measure the building to make sure it's the specs they applied for?
No, because the town got a letter from them saying, no, town personnel were.
how's that possible?
I think we've handled that.
Yeah,
There's a way for you to do that.
Well, there certainly should be in the new bylaws.
No, we gotta wait for new bylaws. Well, we discussed that at a meeting. And I don't have paperwork, but we can find it, that, there's a way for you to do that.
They,
I think Kim's going to find it right now.
they sent a letter saying you can't go on their property?
So it was was it a no trespassing order, or are they just saying like,
No,
we
there's
don't
a way
want?
for it to be
Okay.
done.
Okay.
No, I mean, but no one's questioning the building is larger than.
Some people have to me.
So,
Some people say it's 2 foot bigger than it should be.
No, then it should be. Than the setbacks?
Than what they applied for.
No, no one's questioning that it's definitely bigger than what they applied.
But if they had applied for a building the size that they built, it would have been approved because it's all within the setbacks.
Yes, and the DRB would have said they would have given them a permanent amendment to approve.
it's,
And this hearing was all set for a permanent amendment.
That was that DRB.
that was the
meeting, right?
DRB meeting where he said, I don't know why we're having this meeting. But the question is, they won't be in, they're not in violation right now. They're only in violation if they attempt to open. Because and do business within a non-amended plan.
Right, and
Right?
the law, the person who's acting as town council for this said, is it really worth,
I spoke with, Jim.
Where you said?
is it worth giving him a notice of violation for something that you would grant them an amendment for?
Yeah, right.
Well, you gotta look at the big picture there. They applied for something, got a permit for it, they built something different. They go in and file for amended process, gets it given. So what kind of signal does that send to everybody else? Well, I can go in and apply for this, get my permit, then do whatever I want, when ask for an amended permit. Then once they start getting refused, then you get accused of playing favorites.
But it still goes back into the safety issue of the loading and unloading, because it was supposed to originally have a space for loading and unloading, and it doesn't anymore.
No, they do.
Well, no, they do. Okay, they do. But can an 18 wheeler fit in there?
It's designed to what the bylaws say. So
Yeah, that's a problem with our bylaws
Okay.
right now, is that they are,
Right.
the bylaws were written to figuring that deliveries are gonna happen with a panel truck, basically. And
Bylaws are in
so
the 70s.
that the panel truck pulls in, coming from the south, pulls into the driveway just before the retaining wall, turns left, and then backs into that alleyway. Does all their unloading, and then does, as it was described, a 30-point K-turn, and then they can go out. But
30-point, yeah.
you can't do that with an 18-wheeler. Just can't. And I try to imagine pulling into the loading, unloading zone here.
Possibly.
And easy to pull in, but not so easy to back out.
If
Or conversely, impossible to back in, but it once having backed in, it's not too hard to pull out. And, you know, these are,
It wouldn't be hard to back in if there was nobody parking there.
well, and you could stop traffic in both directions on Route 100 because
Oh,
you're
that's
not.
right, yeah, of course, what am I?
Yeah.
So can't, and this is just a question, thinking back to my days in New York City where you had some really tight streets and stuff. I know businesses that had to pay more for the deliveries because they couldn't be delivered off larger trucks. So they would have to pay more to have these things moved to smaller
Oh,
trucks.
wow.
And I mean, so I don't know if that still applies or if that would apply here. But can they, you know, make
That
that
is-
demand from their vendors?
Or, I know they were saying that there's no one there to receive the deliveries, but I know that at some point we had, and this is what you're saying, I don't think it's what you're saying, but, sorry, but.
Say they have to
That's
deliver
a-
it in
It's
smaller
that's
still-
a
trucks.
little-
it's still in smaller trucks, but also, is there another piece of property that is owned by the company, by the Weston Hotel Partners, that could be a place for deliveries?
Yes.
For someone to meet them with a van or a truck and then
Well, that's
distribute
what they
that.
said, that's what they said they were going to do, was to have the
Bakery.
big trucks pull into the bakery and they would truck the stuff across the street to the inn.
Right, but now there's no
But
place
now
in
there's no
bakery.
place for the
But,
bakery, for the
yeah, the
bakery.
retaining wall got put in the wrong place. So,
What does it mean?
but what, isn't there
By
a
who?
parking lot connected with their, what are
Office?
they called, the accounting office?
I don't think there is, I
Well,
think that's.
There's a very small,
For semi-short spot.
Yeah.
it's on, and it's on
maybe
it,
two
yeah.
spots, yeah.
And not on Lawrence Hill either with the laundromat, right, or whatever it's called.
No, he owns flat access land on Island Corner down there.
So,
Where?
On Island Corner,
I'm sorry, Highland Corner?
yeah, what we call Island Corner, the sharp curve, so
Oh, Island Corner, oh, yeah,
I
yeah, yeah,
didn't
yeah.
know.
where the gate is across
Oh,
there.
yeah, right,
The
right,
little sugar house that's out there,
yeah, yeah, right.
that's all their land,
Uh,
it's all flat.
But you can't unload stuff there and, well, I guess you could.
You
and then
could.
Well,
truck it
there's
over to the
something
inn.
been floating around here, business wise sounds a little funny to me. They're telling you there's nobody there to receive the deliveries. Well, don't these guys get a signature on their delivery slip?
I asked that, she said that to me. She said sometimes there are not people there to get deliveries and apparently.
So, you know, on the trucking companies end of it, they're taking a liability that they could say, well, this never got delivered.
They take a picture these days. They take a picture and say, here it is. It got delivered.
That's not.
Yeah.
so, going back to the, issue of standing and not being able to get in on Mill Lane for the plow trucks. I know we're talking about asking smaller cars can park there, but, you know, it's winter.
If there's now a fence there, so those cars can't pull in any farther.
No, they
right?
can't. There's hedges and a fence and everything there.
Well, I think the simple solution to part of this, as far as unloading, and I don't like to do this, but we put up the no unloading and loading signs. They start violating it. We just hire, you know who, right? Every one of them a ticket. What we're gonna do here with Mill Lane is we'll ask them to change that parking lot to subcompact only. And if they don't wanna do it, then they'll get plowed when it's free of obstructions. If it's,
They did offer to do the winter maintenance themselves. I don't know how legal that is.
It's not. I think it's, we have to legally, we have to, I mean,
Oh, we
can,
do?
but I don't know, I mean,
Sounds like
I mean,
nice
I
solution.
think if you got,
But
if you've got
if it
sign
was-
off,
could
If
you?
you got
If
the
it didn't
neighbors
have to be an
to sign off.
upgraded,
you'd have to get sign off from the neighbors.
huh?
I would think that if you did
Yes.
that would.
Could we talk to the neighbors and see if
would
they
work.
would be
There's only
opening?
one.
Yeah,
Could we talk to the neighbors and see if they would be
I think
open
there's
to
only
that?
one, yeah.
No.
Yeah,
there's
that one
two.
woman on the left.
There's
two.
There's John Phelan and, I forget the name of the other person.
There's two.
It's Italian.
Yeah, oh, it is, it's,
Bernasconi, not Bernasconi, but
so it's two, so I
Yeah,
guess we
and
could talk to
she's-
them and see if they'd be willing
or
to
something.
sign off.
You're right, there is two there, that's right, there's the one
And
that's
so
set back. and
It wouldn't be an issue anymore.
would,
Fubini.
That's it.
Yeah,
That was good.
That's
Would
good.
you explore the possibility of with our town lawyer of writing up such an agreement such that if the hotel agreed to take care of winter maintenance and got the neighbors, whether there's 2 or 3, to sign off, if that would be legal.
Yeah,
Great.
sounds like a great
That's a,
idea.
that's a great.
great idea.
I'm
Yeah.
glad who suggested that? Did you suggest that to them?
No,
Natalie said, we'll do this?
yeah,
Great.
she raised it, I mean, it's not.
Approved, yeah.
not-
Right, I know it's just Natalie, but still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
It's something to talk about.
Yeah,
We'll go from there.
Great.
So then, so we'll do that rather than doing the subcompact thing.
Right.
We don't have to say that now.
No, right.
Okay. Thank you.
But,
Awesome.
That's great.
also work on drafting whatever we need for a letter to the state for the
DV
signs.
Great. Thanks, Sean.
Let's see, we gotta clean this thing up here now.
Might be done.
Are you concerned about,
You know, Megan.
Claudia's complaint?
Claudia's complaint has to do with the parking, yeah, the loading and
My
unloading.
understanding was it was the drainage, which is a state jurisdiction. They actually went above and beyond on the drainage. They were not required to get an engineered stormwater plan.
I'm gonna have to reread that email now.
Oh, I missed
Well-
that too, drainage at the bakery.
Yeah.
Oh,
But, you know, she can, if she writes a written complaint to me, I can deal with it.
so is that letter that she sent not,
She sent a letter to you, not, was not copied on it.
So,
Well, so, but
can we forward it and just?
she's been notified to write you, so.
She
But she
wrote,
hasn't
she
yet.
wrote you after I sent her a letter saying,
oh,
Right.
it was, oh, you sent her that
You just-
before.
And so you'll ask her to send it to you.
I mean, yeah, were there any specifics in it?
There were some. Yeah, this is,
I read it 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
We
Yeah,
can
me
have-
too.
Yeah.
Me too.
she should send that letter to you.
And be more specific and concise about,
I think it had a lot of detail.
I mean, it had a lot of
I think there was-
detail. It was a lot of detail,
There
but it
was, I can't remember off the top of my head.
was a
Some
lot of detail, but it was like,
some was stuff that maybe could be acted on, and some I,
can't. I don't
yeah,
think,
I
I don't know.
didn't. Yeah, but she should write it to you. Just ask her. Or we could get Shauna to,
I could get a copy of it. I mean,
I think we ought to have one that is sent by her addressed to you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That would be the right thing.
and you know what, I think that, because she wrote to us.
Yeah,
Should
The
we
select
address
board.
it? Yeah.
I think, sorry. I think that, Shauna, you should write to
Yeah.
Claudia and ask her to send the letter to.
right.
Yeah,
I think that's better.
yeah, that's good.
Just trying to see if I could find this. This letter that.
Remember how we got it through? Sean?
No,
Huh?
I forwarded it to you.
You did.
Yeah,
That's right.
because I was given it by somebody else. It wasn't sent to us.
So we all set with, letters.
Yeah, it's great. Thanks, Will.
Thank you, yeah, we covered a lot of stuff.
We did.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
It was
And it's
Alright.
only 8:45.
excellent.
Number 4, review
Thank you,
minutes. This one will be Jim, Linda, and Brian,
Because we weren't here.
24, 28.
Um,
Yeah, I went through it, right? So,
Hold on.
I looked through it, I didn't see anything.
On the October 28th,
Yes,
I didn't see anything, so I'm gonna move approval of the
Second.
October 28th, 2025.
second,
There you go.
Yeah, all in favor? Any other discussion, any questions?
So, aye,
All in favor?
aye.
Aye. Oh, that's
Aye.
Something to,
Yeah, November 11th is in here, right?
It should be.
It was just, I emailed you, Shauna, with one little
Yeah.
thing, the number 5.
We got November 5th. I'm gonna move approval of that too.
what would you suggest under number 5?
you'll have to use
On
that for
the
a sign
11th,
one, then
We have,
No, that's it.
yeah, I'm sorry, number 5, no, I'm on November 11th, sorry, am I on the wrong
This
date?
is signed by everyone but us.
Remember we had a special meeting
Yeah,
on
yeah,
the 5th
sorry,
to
sorry.
go into two executive sessions.
I have two,
Um,
reason, so maybe.
November 5th, I'm good with,
November
you wanna-
11th.
You wanna move?
Oh, November
approval?
5th, yeah.
move approval of November 5th, select board meeting notes.
Second,
Okay, Linda, second. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Uh,
I wasn't there,
You weren't?
I don't think so.
Yeah, we weren't there. Oh, wait, no,
yeah, you
Yeah.
no,
were
you
there
were,
for the
oh, for
You
the
were.
5th, yeah.
Yeah.
We weren't there
That was
for the,
a-
end of October.
Right.
You didn't want to be there, but you were.
We were forced to.
Easy now, easy now.
So the 11th.
The 11th, it was number 5, it was just in the first sentence, that asked about the legal agreement for the with the.
Oh,
for the with the.
I fixed it on my end, but I
Sweet.
obviously didn't put it in.
And at the very beginning, we have number 1 twice, confirm recording.
I missed that.
Oh, sorry, I missed the,
For the with the.
Motion for the 11th.
Gracias.
I move we approve the minutes of November 11th.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye. Please, thank you.
And I will note that the November 11th meeting said that the November 25th meeting will be held with a small, quick agenda.
Yes. I told my
Killing
family
it.
I'll be home
Real-
before
real
9, well
quick.
before 9 I'll be home.
Well, put it this way, I had a bad feeling today.
Yeah.
This wasn't gonna be anything but quick.
I couldn't believe when I pulled up and I was like, there are so many.
When I
people
read
here.
that, I sort of chuckled to
Yeah, I
myself.
didn't.
was like, what's going on with all the cars?
Insurance one will be the next one.
Weren't we waiting for deductible usage info, Linda, you had asked for that.
Yes, and is that what that is down at the bottom?
Is it? 'Cause-
No, that was what we had last time. He didn't send anything, did he?
Okay, I think we table it again.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
I'd really like to-
Wait a
Yeah, I
minute.
mean,
Oh,
well,
sorry,
don't we have to make a decision?
the
No?
31st of December. I think.
Yeah, but somebody, two somebodies has a bunch of paperwork to do if we switch insurance companies.
Aren't we? We're with Blue Cross Blue Shield right now.
So, there's quite a bit of difference in money on these policies. I understand you're waiting for some information, but then these two got a lot of work to do if we switch companies.
Yeah, so we can't
I'm
wait
sorry,
till the
they
31st.
have
I've
stuff
just-
to do for it themselves personally or for
No,
the town?
for the town.
Okay.
For
We
the
have to
town.
switch all
Got it.
each.
But I think, well, I don't know. I mean, yes, okay, paperwork isn't ideal, but
Well, you can't wait till December 31st.
No,
no,
of
we're
course
not going, yeah.
Because we may, if you switch, we may have to pay the new company, and you're not gonna do that on the 31st of
Right.
December. So we do need something
Yeah,
Within the
okay.
next
Done.
week or two, or prior to that?
preferably.
Like next week. Can we reach out to
Has
the lawyer
anyone
again?
talked to the town employees
I have.
about this?
I did. I talked to Jeff and Jeff I talked to Jeff about what he thought. He knew they'd switched back and forth and it had been through both. He was really happy with Blue Cross Blue Shield. His wife, his family is really happy. He was going to speak with Nick and a couple of the employees about how their partners and their kids felt about it, about the access. I asked him about that. To follow up with that, I dropped the ball on that. You know, again, I want your opinion, but my concern is, and I know just the network outreach and the, you know, so what are your thoughts?
I didn't have any trouble with Blue Cross. I didn't have any trouble with MVP.
Okay,
Our only reason for switching from MVP 1 year to Blue Cross was because their insurance premiums skyrocketed. And it was
MVP
because, yes, because something that they hadn't had to absorb as a cost was being sent over their way. I know we have about 10 grand in the HRA reimbursement account. And that just means that we haven't used all of our deductibles, because if we had, that would have pretty much wiped it out.
Mhm.
And I think it's historically been running 50%, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
I think it was, I guess, like 60%, so
I'm sorry, what,
50 or 60% of the
Projected utilization.
HRA reimbursement account and
Which is
our
what they have to.
deductibles.
Oh, I
Yes.
see, okay, gotcha.
Used up. So, and that's just anecdotally off the top of my head,
Right,
okay, but we are still sitting on 10,000 above, you know, roughly.
Left in the account,
Right,
okay,
right,
Got it.
because we never put in more when we acquired a couple more employees, but we were covering their deductibles, so.
okay.
Would it be possible to, if we went with the MVP option to just unilaterally increase our HRA to cover the deductibles? In other words, we would agree to finance deductible from a current deductible of $3,200, which is covered by the HRA, right?
Right, you've already done that. You cover deductibles currently to 100%.
Yeah.
And normally what I do at budget time is I just figure out how much is left in the account, how much we're gonna have to cover in theory of the deductibles at
Mhm.
100%. And then I put in the budget and a figure accordingly.
Yeah.
We haven't necessarily used it all, but even ending 10,000 is a good number.
Yeah.
To end the year with. So we put that into the budget so that it's out there.
Right.
You can fund it at 100% of, let's say it's 6,000 per person. I don't recall what the amount.
Well, it amounts to self-insurance.
Yes, it is.
And
Yes, it is.
it seems to me that we have a very insurable bunch. And it makes me wonder why we shouldn't go to option 2, self-insure, save the $29,000 in premiums, and self-insure against that higher deductible amount. You see what I'm saying?
I do. I don't have that in front of me. Are you talking MVP?
I'm talking the MVP option
MVP,
2.
because
I thought I
it'd
saw,
be such a saving of
Maybe I'm
almost
wrong.
30,000.
if you get to option 2 there, am I wrong? And maybe I was looking at something, the original one, where then the employees have to pay co-pays that they otherwise haven't paid, am I incorrect?
That would go out of the HRA. That
So
would
the-
come out of the
This is the
HRA.
So
out-of-pocket
it would be
max.
covered
I
no
don't
matter
mean
what.
I mean, like even a co-pay could go like to
We
a
haven't even
specialist,
had
that sort
to
of,
pay that.
So
So it's
it
all
would be covered no
covered.
matter
I
what.
think it was in that
By the
first
town.
one. That
So
first one had options,
if
I think
it-
we're not saying here.
That was the same thing.
So
No.
maybe
That
the
was
guys
what?
will come to the next meeting and answer those questions for you.
Is
All I
there,
know is we go to the doctor, if it isn't covered immediately because we haven't met the deductible, then it gets paid out of the HRA. We haven't been paying co-pays, so, so you would be almost doubling, or not quite doubling, the deductible that would be paid.
Right.
So-
Deductible goes to 6 from 3, right?
Right. But
It
we're,
goes from 6 to 11,900.
no,
Am I
For
looking at-
option 2.
What
for
is the-
option 2?
No, no, yeah, but what's that slash, under option 1, it's 3,200.
It's individual and
Single
family.
family.
Oh, individual and family.
Right, so we're gonna have a couple families. We have at least one family, and then employee plus one, are gonna have at least
We have two families.
Two families.
two families, and then we
And
have
possibly three,
employee plus,
and then an
Child.
employee plus one.
and then we have a single.
And we have employee plus one.
Well, but, and maybe this is the wrong
So-
way to look at it mathematically, but if we're going from 3,200 to 6,000, so that's roughly doubled.
Right.
64 to 12, that's roughly doubled also, but we're getting almost 4 times as much.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I just don't always know all the answers.
Yeah,
That's okay, you don't.
Kim, seriously.
I didn't really like insurance.
So-
Nobody likes insurance.
But yeah, no, I think that if the answer is you still get the same quality and the
That's-
same level of care.
That's the question.
And my only concern personally was, do they cover the same prescriptions? Because,
Yeah, that's a
really
very
important.
fair question.
and they didn't answer that question either.
Who didn't? It's, oh,
The,
Matt.
Our
the,
consultant.
the lawyer, yeah, the
So
guy.
we need
So we need to get that answer.
so, here's a motion. I move that we go with MVP option 2. Increase our HRA allocation. Pending satisfactory answers to your questions about coverage of prescriptions and that sort of stuff.
And
Is the
doctors.
coverage and doctors, are those all the same, just with higher deductibles? And if they are, then, you know, I feel comfortable self-insuring. We have a guaranteed savings of $29,000.
Right.
And
And that's real money.
and that's
Yeah.
real money.
2,900.
That's
And we're self-insuring for, you know, another 30. So, I mean, and we're usually, our history is we've only
Right.
been using 50 or 60% of that. So that sounds like a almost no risk, but it's one that I
And
think I'm
if,
willing
and
to
if somehow
take.
we go through this year and find out that it ended up to be more expensive than we thought, then we can always make a change. next year.
Exactly.
Not making
No,
people
no, I
crazy.
understand. I
Okay.
just think
I
it's
second
worth
that motion.
saving the money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
agree.
mean, these two need an answer, know where they're headed, so. All those in favor?
Aye.
I abstain.
Why?
I don't feel like I have enough information to feel comfortable making that decision or going with that motion right now. It's not that I don't think that the savings are really good. I feel like I need a little bit more information for me to feel comfortable.
That's okay.
Um,
Vote passes and
yeah,
Yeah.
that's,
So,
Who
so,
seconded?
I did.
Linda did.
So,
So you had 3 yes and 1 no.
so we're asking for,
wait, no,
no,
No.
I abstain.
didn't we have 4 yes and 1 abstention?
Yes,
Isn't that right?
that is correct.
Yeah.
Did you, yeah, you voted aye?
So do I, yeah. I don't understand insurance.
Yeah.
nobody but Jim does.
It's
I'm
complicated.
not sure I
Well,
understand it,
you
but
used the phrase self-insured, so.
yeah.
Um, so we're asking for our consultant, whatever he's called, sorry, to agent, to let us know if the service providers and prescription coverage is virtually the same as our current plan. And if he comes back and says it's not, what do we do?
Put it back on the agenda
We got
for the,
I think then we need to all ask him what is, yeah. and
We
then-
might
and
have
ask
to have
him-
another meeting to discuss it.
Yes, and ask him, and specifically ask him, does option 1 for MVP have the same coverage and docs, right? Because if it did, then that might be an opportunity for us to have some savings at least, right?
Although I can't believe that option 1 and option 2 would have different coverage, would they?
I don't know. I mean,
Maybe.
I think that they would have exactly the same, the only difference would be deductible. At least,
I would think so,
yeah,
but
that would be my experience,
it's
but we
a
need to
good question to
verify.
ask.
I just wanna know that the medications are covered.
Yes,
Yeah.
yep.
I look healthy, but you know what?
I think it's,
Monday,
I
Wednesday.
because you're taking a lot of,
think it's a non-negotiable that we need to find out this information.
sorry?
I think this is a non-negotiable that we need to find out this information about. I just,
Yes, this is all
Yeah, yeah.
pending.
yeah,
Yeah.
good.
The motion was pending finding that out.
Perfect.
Yep.
Okay,
So we wanna, and let's give them a deadline for getting that information back to us
Yeah.
Good
For our
call.
meeting on the 9th.
for our meeting on the 9th. Great.
Well, yeah, so like
yeah,
the
yes.
5th.
And if we hear it sooner, then we can move, it can
It
go
can just
to.
go-
So
we can
she's
just-
just gonna do it if it's what
Right.
she
I mean,
wants.
I have
She's-
one day to get it to him. He's not gonna work Thursday or Friday, and
Who
I
gave
can-
him Friday off?
Get to us
you know what I
next week.
mean?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
Just so everyone knows.
yeah, okay, that's all right.
and is there any way for like, we can get that information, I don't know, probably can't reach out and get that information, but,
I could probably go online.
yeah, that's what I was thinking, I was like, maybe we just do a little
They have their
research,
Plans,
they have everything
they
right
have
there,
their plans.
detailed
available
online.
Okay, we're,
They should, yes.
Yeah.
So hard to read all that stuff, but maybe.
I think that's what you have a consultant for.
Okay, good. Are we?
Are we on 6?
Yeah, and I'm trying to find a price on this thing. Yeah,
It was 18 something.
Yeah, we had it
Oh,
last
there it is.
meeting,
Oh, yeah, it's
18.
a 3-year contract.
18.6 for 2025, then 19.2, and it's on page 9.
Didn't we put out for another bid and no one got back?
We did, I put out to Telling and Hillman, they are from Middlebury, that's who the town of Manchester uses. The town of Castleton uses RHR Smith and Company out of Maine. And Mudgett, Janet, and Krog / Wisner is who Landgrove uses out of Middlebury, and I haven't heard anything from
No,
anyone.
no, no, come back.
Kim, how much of an increase is this over last year?
They were 17.8, 17.6, and they also gave me, and I didn't make copies of them, they gave me a couple invoices where they wrote off like $3,200 against. So they charged us what they were contracted for, but they put in more services than they actually billed us for it. And I just think, as regulations get more complex, they end up spending more time on their end, going through the rigmarole that they have to. I just feel that it's a professional service that they've been doing, and they've been doing it extremely well for us. And that if we need to check prices, we need to not do it at the kind of the last minute. So if we sign for another 3 years and you wanna check in on things, do it before the last audit year, so.
So I'm gonna move that we approve the Sullivan Powers and Company bid.
I second,
all in favor?
I,
Very persuasive.
Oh, they're a pain in the butt, I'm not listening.
Yeah.
Um,
25th.
25th.
I have to sign too.
It's two will do it here, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine, okay.
This,
reimbursement.
buyout sheet,
Yeah.
It's just a statement of facts, right?
Well, just short and sweet, they're going to reimburse the town through this, grant program for the municipal taxes that we've had to forego on the buyout. And it's not huge money, but for the Hart property and the Fidelity property, it's $13.35. So it's just based on their prior assessment at the time of the incident, which was the flood of 23. And it's at our current tax rate, which is substantially less than it was in the municipal, but they're giving us back our municipal portion.
Okay.
And that will go on at 100% of that for 5 years, and then we get 50% of that for another 5 years. I am under the impression that if you have more buyouts, which we still have one pending, that too will fall into this. We don't, the agreements all had to be in place by September 1 of this year. And so I imagine that the last buyout will come under this agreement next year. We don't get money until after January 1st on that.
Right, and this is it is what it is.
It is what it is.
They're giving us money, and if the total payments exceed what the legislature has allocated, then they
Prorated.
they prorate it,
Right.
so.
And that 10 years begins now?
Right.
Okay. And if so it's at the rate of the tax rate now, or the tax rate,
It's at the assessment of 23 and it's at future,
Tax
it's
rate
at the tax rate.
for every year.
does that tax rate change every year? I mean,
Okay.
our tax rate changes every
Yeah,
year, will
I think
that, the
it-
reimbursement change?
Well, that would make sense that it does, but I'd check on that before I quote it. You said yes.
I interpreted one little part different there.
Okay,
When it goes to 50%, the next 4 years, I thought it was kept dropping 50%. So it kind of worked its way down to 0.
okay,
That's why I,
and that's probably, knowing how things get done, that's probably.
50%.
No, I didn't read it that way, but
They could be weaning us
in
off.
whatever
It
it
could
is,
be viewed
I
that
think
way.
it just goes to 50%, stays at 50% for 5 years, and then it's over. But if that's not it, I mean, we get what we're gonna get.
Yeah,
And you
we're not
don't
Yeah,
negotiating.
we're not negotiating this.
I just thought we'd talk
Yeah.
about it so we were aware.
Yeah, no, it's
Okay.
it's interesting. I did not know that was happening, so that's
Nice.
great.
So we don't have to approve anything, we
We do
just,
not,
right.
it's just
point of
FYI.
information.
But while we're on that, we were getting more information on the inspection and cleanup costs, like who was, right? Did we get anything on
Good
that?
memory.
We are gone. For phase 1 for.
Yeah, we,
PSA.
right, wasn't there a question, we had a question
There
as
was this
to,
insurance thing that we could buy for $500.
Correct,
oh, I don't even remember that. I'm just,
Yeah,
for the umbrella,
we were concerned that if we took on a property, right, it's turned over to us and then something happened, or we found out later that there was an
Right, so
issue.
we're
That we,
still
that we
waiting
would
that
be
one.
on the hook.
We're
to-
still waiting for that answer.
correct.
okay.
They did the inspection last week,
Okay, oh, this is for the last house?
yes.
Oh, yeah, I saw they took off the siding and
Oh,
stuff.
no, this is for the,
That was the hard property.
that was,
Oh, I'm
I
sorry.
think that was the siding was asbestos.
Okay,
So they had to take it
Okay.
off before
got it.
they knock it down.
Healthy.
This is for the Batman property right on the river.
Oh, right, Santa
Yeah.
Claus house, I thought, yeah, okay, I know this here.
I don't know why it was chosen.
For that.
It seemed to be-
That's the one that they
Yeah.
were looking at specifically, for that. Okay, thanks, got it.
Santa Claus?
There was, in that front window, the last window, there was a Santa Claus that was here year round, so my nieces and nephews,
No one's
Let's
been
do-
in there.
my nieces and
Yeah,
nephews
thank
called
you.
it the Santa Claus house. Yes.
okay, so it looks like we're at payroll.
Getting to the end.
Yeah, so I'm gonna move.
Oh
Bless you.
my God, I don't know what's happening right now.
Approval of payroll check warrant report number 22 in the amount of $10,887.12.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye. That was a yes.
And I'm also going to move approval of accounts payable check warrant report number 22 in the amount of, hold on, $26,381.36.
I second.
Just a second.
I second.
All those in favor?
I.
Aye.
Thank you.
You wanna see sooner or later?
Oh, sorry. Now, yeah, Merry Christmas.
Take them.
Whole business. do we want a report from Brian in open session? Executive session, whatever.
Uh,
Um,
I think we're ready for, can you see a reason not to do it?
I can't now, I've made those conversations that we had, so I'm okay. Okay, so in terms of the land, we still do not have a signed contract, but we have an agreement on the price.
Mhm.
Do I give the price or no?
No,
Okay, we have an agreement, yeah, we have an agreement on the price and, it's just taken a while because of this, lawyer issue, right? Meryl had to excuse herself and then Amanda's office. And now the seller's lawyer's office is looking at the contract to make sure that the way that Amanda wrote it makes sense. And so that's what's taking a little longer. I was hoping to have a full answer on that today. I did speak with the parties involved that we asked them to speak with. They are thrilled,
that's great.
all looking good on that.
That's like excellent news.
just be nice if we could close it before the end of the year.
Absolutely, and they know that that is the absolute has to happen goal. And we had actually a date of December 15th, maybe it didn't, I think it's December 15th or 17th is a date that the lawyer is holding as a closing date, despite the fact that we don't have a written contract yet. But I think that should happen, Denny, without a problem.
Brian. Thank you.
Yeah, no,
Yes,
absolutely.
thank you for bringing that on. Thank you.
Meryl, I will just tell you, this is the first time that I'm dealing with Meryl directly, and she is a pleasure.
She's great.
Yeah.
I really like her.
Anybody else got anything else? Remember that, around about the 6th of January, we'll start the budget.
And those usually start at 7 and go to 9.
Right.
And the only thing I was gonna bring to your attention is we did get got one appropriation request where they went up almost 50%. So they went from 2,000 to 3,100 and change. And if we are going to say no, or if you're going to say no, they need time if they want to get a petition. And there is one other organization that has asked as a new organization. And again, if you're gonna say no, they need time if they're going to gather and get a petition.
You know what I call that?
Yes,
Blackmail.
yeah.
No,
So
I'm serious.
I,
They saying that if you don't do it,
well, I'm saying that. I'm saying if you say no, technically they are able to get a petition of 5% of the voters. But we need like 45 days in which that to occur.
well, we
So-
stand on our record that we start 1st January. If we say no, it's up to them to get things moving because, well, we gotta have it signed by the, somewhere around the last week of January for your,
Or the other alternative is they ask for an increase off the floor, which is very clean, but it just takes the time of the day.
This certain company has always helped me. They've always done everything that I have asked. They've
Gina.
come
Gina,
to record anything and everything that I have asked. I don't know that I could record the town meeting.
well, they, kind of come in the back door. When they first arrived, they were doing it for free.
Well, it's
Then they
going to-
started asking for money.
Right. But it would be
They
a
were
lot
upfront about
more
it.
money than what they're asking for someone to come record the
For
town
another,
meeting
for another company.
required by law.
I just think it's going to be a trend because as other funding sources are being cut,
Right.
people will be coming to us looking for more money.
Well, the way we have addressed this with regard to appropriations in the past is we list the this current year, in other words, what they asked for and what was approved. And then we list what they asked for and what was in the budget. And what they asked for may not be the same as what we put in the budget, but that will be discussed in order during town meeting, and we can certainly do that. And I think, so I'm gonna propose that we just think about this and how we're going to present it. You know, in the budget, we can either not put their last year's appropriation in as a placeholder, but say that they asked for more, and then they should have somebody there to advocate for their position, or we can put it in the budget and say, hey.
So,
No, I think that way there make them justify it.
Yeah.
Plus, if there's a brand new one, which there is this year, we usually do a line item. Simply because if we just put it in with all the others, it gives the implication out there that the select board approves it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
So if
yeah.
we do a line item.
Yep.
And then it'll get put in every year, but
And then it gets discussed in a lot more depth.
Yeah.
Yeah, so,
I'm not trying to end on an unhappy note, because this is Thanksgiving. But I just wanted to put that information out there.
great.
Oh, good,
I'll be-
thank you.
Thank you,
What's the
Kim.
organization that hasn't asked before?
It's something in Brattleboro, and it has to do with crisis and abuse.
Yeah.
And,
A little repetitive to
I
something
felt,
else.
and I said that to them when I responded to them, that we already have the Women's Freedom Center and a couple other organizations, that this may be. And there was no guarantee that it would be approved. So,
Okay.
Yeah, and
I remember.
I think it
reading
would be
something about
really
that.
good to talk to Regina. And get just off the record, just see what she has to say about it, because
yeah, I haven't heard of the organization. I'm not saying one way or the other, but maybe they would come talk to you during budgeting.
anyway,
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
okay.
Happy,
Thanks, Kim.
thanks.
Happy
You too.
So is it time for a move for adjournment?
Yep,
I would think.
No.
make that
Move to
motion, make that motion.
adjourn. Done,
Second.
yes.
Okay. Got a lot to think about if you go through things. You done recording?
Recording stopped.
One second.
Are
Of
you
course, we didn't
done?
vote on that.
Oh, yeah, we didn't say
Yeah.
aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
But,
I'm gonna steal a clip out of you.
I don't know